Hello, everyone. This is Monsef Afker, and thank you so much for joining us in this new call of your divine uniqueness. Thank you for your presence and sharing with us your beautiful energy today. And also very excited that Karen K is with us on the show. This is the second time she joins us. I think the last time it was maybe a year and a half ago, summer 2021, I guess.
Ooh.
And yeah.
A long time.
Yeah, the time really flies by, and but yeah, it's also great. Like many experiences we had, both great, positive, and challenging. That's we're helping to for us to grow.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the last time it was really fun and also inspiring at the same time. To be to connect to the elemental kingdom and learn how to receive guidance and invoke them in our daily life, so they can help us in creating what's really desired in our life. And yeah, so it was really powerful, really fun, and also I expect today it will be even more powerful and inspiring. And today's call is it will be about opening the fairy door into magical year. And Karen, so she will be sharing about that, about how to open this door and receive guidance and help. So we from the fairy realm, so we can really create and manifest the things that are dear to our hearts, our heart desires, and create the highest outcome for us and also for the collective. And also we'll have a Q&A later on the call where you can ask her your questions, and she will use her oracle card decks,
Yes.
her bestselling decks, and she has two. One it's oracle of the fairies, and the second one is messages from the mermaids.
Yes.
And yes, for those of you who are new to Karen, she is a Bestselling Hay House author, mermaid, and fairy whisperer. And she is an elemental expert who connects with fairies, mermaids, unicorns, and angels. And yeah, so that's Karen. Welcome back to the show. Happy to have you with us.
Oh, thank you so much, Monsef, for inviting me back again. And it's so lovely to, like you say, the time has flown by since the last time, and to be here after all these things that have been happening, the challenges, the joys, everything is a real blessing. So I feel very honoured to have been invited and to share with you and everybody watching, whether they're watching now with us live or on the replay. The energy, as we know, it's not linear. Time is not linear. So whenever you're seeing this is the perfect time for you to be watching this. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Karen. And yeah, so let's start in the beginning by if you can tell us a little bit about your work and how you support people who connect with you.
Yeah, okay. So for people that don't know who I am, my name is Karen Kay, as Monsef wonderfully introduced me, and I am a best-selling author, which is a dream come true for me. I have currently 2 oracle decks, the Oracle of the Fairies deck and Messages from the Mermaids. I'll show you the back of the decks for now. So that's the Mermaids, that's the Fairies, and I will pull a card shortly for the collective about the energy. Both of these decks, so I connected with the Fairies first. That was my first deck, and the energy just came through. I was getting downloads. I was out in nature all the time. I do go out in nature a lot. I also go to the beach pretty much every day or every other day. I'm very blessed to be living in an area in Cornwall, right down the bottom. If you imagine the map of the UK, of England, right down the bottom is where I live, almost the ends of the earth, and it's great. There are people here, but not as many as in the big cities, so it suits me perfectly. And if I do need to go into London to see the publishers or an event, then I can just get on a train and it just takes me all the way from here. This is I live at the last stop on the train. So if I come from London home, I can fall asleep and wake up. I won't go past my stop. It's really good. So
that's easy.
Yeah, so that's just a little bit where I live, and I've done these oracle decks, and actually I have just completed my third oracle deck, which will be released later on this year, but it's not officially announced yet, so you heard it here first. And yeah, I'm super excited about that, and it is to do with the elementals as well. That's all I can say at this point, but for those of you that have signed up to my newsletter, you'll receive the free meditation, and you'll also receive the news of when the new oracle deck is coming out and what it's about. So my first experience with fairies was when I was a young child. I was living with my grandmother in a place called Charlton in South London, and she loved flowers. She loved flowers, and I was very small, maybe 5 or 6, something like that. And I would be with her while she was tending to her roses. She adored roses. I think that's why I love roses. In fact, I'm even wearing roses on my dress at the moment. It's really stayed with me. And the fragrance, they were all beautiful. The scent and the fragrance was just so divine, so heavenly. And I remember gathering up all the rose petals. I put them in a pot. I mush them all up, put water in, and I would leave them out for the flower fairies. And I would go back and check the following day, and it would always be gone. So I know in my heart, in my innocent heart, that they had taken the perfume. And you could say, well, of course, maybe it evaporated, but you know, when you know, you know. And I would perceive the fairies as little points of dancing light. And this has stayed with me since I was a young child all the way through to now. It's never gone away. In fact, at one point, I became a little bit concerned when I was a teenager, and you kind of go through this rebellious stage when you're a teenager. And I thought, oh, maybe there's something wrong with me and wrong with my eyes because I'm seeing all these lights. And I went to an optician. I didn't say, I think I'm seeing fairies. I just said, can you check out my eyesight? And I had the test, and he said that I had 20/20 vision, which means perfect vision. And so that to me was confirmation that what I was seeing was and is fairy lights. So and when a lot of people do see them, usually it's out of the corner of their eye, but I see them on people. I see them straight on as well. And what it is that the fairies, because they're of the earth realm, but they can penetrate through the veil into this dimension. And so that is usually what you're seeing when you see these tiny darting lights. They're penetrating into our dimension. And I do also, as Monsef said earlier, I connect with angels too, and I perceive those lights as lights, and they're bigger and they're more pulsing, and they're just very, very different energies. I see them more as kind of orbs, and I see them around people as well. But I connect more so with fairies, maybe because I'm out in nature a lot. Fairies are guardians of the planet. They're guardians of the land. And that is, I think, the reason why they connect with me. They connect with lots of people. It's not just me who works with fairies. But when you have a love of the planet and a passion for the land, and you care about it as deeply as the fairies do, then you're going to have some kind of kinship there. And if you're open-hearted and open-minded, then they will want to work with you to help you do their work, if you like. And a beautiful, I want to say a byproduct, but I don't like that saying. A beautiful part of working with the fairies is that they're magical. So they can present to you in many different ways. And sometimes it is in a way that you can accept. Usually it's in a way that you can accept. So you might see a kind of flower type fairy being, you might just see a light, you might have a feeling, you might see a more natural nature leafy type creature in a tree or something. So they can really present in any way. They can shapeshift, into animals, and they're magical, and they're beings of nature, and we are part of nature too. So there is a natural connection. They're like our brothers and sisters on another realm, but they're here with us. And the mermaids are guardians of the ocean, one of the guardians of the ocean. There are many different water guardians, and there are also water fairies, by the way, but the ocean is where the mermaids reside. And I had a connection with them in my late teens, really was the first kind of connection. And they would inspire me to draw mermaids and fairies, mermaids, when I first came to Cornwall. And it was very strange because I don't consider myself to be a conventional artist. I am artistic, but I couldn't kind of paint your portrait. If I did, it probably wouldn't be very flattering. I'm not very good like that, but I'm not affirming that. I'm open to being a great artist, but I just wasn't at the time. But these drawings were just coming through me, and they were like, it wasn't like The Little Mermaid or anything. It wasn't Disneyfied. It was like these warrior kings and queens of the sea, and they had tridents and thrones. And that's how they first presented to me. And I have since then always had this kind of inexplicable urge, desire to be close to the ocean, which is part of the reason why, well, it's a big part of the reason why I love where I live, because I've got the woodland, I've got the ocean, I've got everything in such close proximity, and it enables me to connect with all of these beings. So I do feel very, very blessed. I did make it happen. Once I came to Cornwall, I decided that this is where I want to live. I want to connect with these beings, with the land, and I made it so. And anybody can do that, because a lot of people say, oh, I wish I could live there. And you can. We can do anything. And that is kind of part of what my talk about today is. Going into 2023, going into this new year with all of the lessons, hopefully lessons that we've had over the last couple of years. And I feel like certainly in my life, a lot of people that I was quite close to have gone in different directions, and new energies, new people have come in. And it's like, I don't want to say one is better and one is not, like higher and lower vibrations, because we're all where we're meant to be. We've all been on all levels, and we always will be like that. So we're all equal. It doesn't matter whether you're considered to be high vibe or whatever. We're all the same. We're all souls on this journey, in a body on this planet at the same time. And so we also have the ability, because we are part of the divine created us, we are one with the divine, so therefore we can create. And sometimes we feel like, oh, I can't do that, I can't have that, I can't go there, oh, no. But what if we said, yes, I can? And you can look at other people who inspire you. Why do they inspire you? What have they done to make you feel like, I would love to try that, I would love to do this? And it's normally a mindset, something within our mind that tells us that we can't. But actually, I'm just probably one of many people that are going to say to you, you can. And there's no such thing as failure, because even just trying, just desiring from your heart for the highest good of all, always is a success. Getting out of bed in the morning is a success. You've done something. So if you treat every single thing that you do, even if you feel like it's a mistake or it's an error or you've done something wrong, as long as you can see that and you can learn from it, you can grow from it, then it is a success. And this is how we start to manifest within these human realms. And what gets really kind of want to say juicy really is when you start working with the elementals of the planet. and you combine with them. Now, they're not like a genie in a bottle where you rub it and say, hey, fairies, I want this, I want a big house, I want a Ferrari, I want all. It doesn't really work like that. Although it can. I mean, there are no limits, there are no, everything is possible basically, but they're co-creators with us, and it is like a symbiotic relationship, the fairies and the mermaids. So we have to show willing and show them how passionate we are about the land, about the ocean. You know, what products are you putting in your bathroom? What products are you putting in the land? What are you using pesticides on your plants if you're growing them? You know, look at all these little things. Anything that goes into the earth and anything that goes into the ocean, into the waters, you have to be mindful of, because they will know. And it's not like a judging kind of a no. I mean, the fairies can get quite judgmental and naughty sometimes, and they can trip you up. So they're not, it's not a predictable relationship, and it's not for the faint-hearted, really. If you have this kind of warrior within you that wants to seek and explore and take a little bit of a risk in a safe way, if that makes sense, but explore and go through the fairy door, then you're in for a wild ride. And it is, I've just seen so much evidence within my own life. Many years ago, I visualized that I used to listen to Louise Hay when I was a lot younger, and I used to always dream of having my own oracle deck and being with Hay House, and I'm sure many people have that dream. And the way it unfolded was very, very magical. And when something is so precious and dear to you within your heart, when you hold that in your heart and then release it, which is really important when you are trying or attempting to manifest something within our earthly realms. It's so important to release it and then trust that whatever comes back to you, because you will magnetize the energy, it will pulse in. It might not come in. If you wanted a blue car, you might get a red car. Maybe you needed a red car more. You know, that's just a very basic example. It's not just about material things. It's about manifesting things like peace, health, joy, happiness, all of these wonderful things that we can have and we do deserve. And joy is our birthright. Joy is your birthright. And let that sink in for a moment, because very often there can be a sense of guilt that comes up with that, like, oh, well, I don't deserve to be happy because there are people in another country and they're not happy and they've not got food and they've not got this. You are here for a reason. You're where you are for a reason. Your spirit, your soul, whatever label you want to put on that, has chosen to come to exactly where you are, to have the experiences that you are having, and to be the presence of peace, not only within your own life, but in the lives of those around you and the lives of everyone you connect to. So when I'm walking down the street on my own and I see someone, I am open to having connection with everybody. And I'll often just start up a conversation, and whether it's, oh, that's a nice coat, or the weather's not, whatever it is, just to engage with people. Because I think, especially over the last couple of years, people have, in general, this is a very generic way that I'm talking, they've become closed off to connecting with other people. In fact, to the point where they've become fearful of other people. And that's quite sad, actually, because we are not designed to be solo. Yes, we can live on our own and we can do things on our own. But if we were designed to be solo all the time, then there is enough space in this infinite universe for us to all have our own planets to live on. And we're all on this planet. So we're meant to connect with people. And I feel like part of the work that I'm doing, and I don't, even the word work, it feels like play. My work is my play and my joy. So I feel very, very blessed that I've kind of manifested this path within my life where I can talk to people and share, because also sometimes people say, well, aren't you a little bit old to be believing in fairies? And it's like, no, I'm not. You're never too old for fairies. You're never too old for fairy tales. And being older, as you grow older, is a blessing. Every day you wake up is a blessing to be here on this earth. And I made a vow to myself many, many years ago that for every day I'm in a body on this planet, I am going to play, I'm going to create, I'm going to live my best life. I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to, like a hummingbird, take all the nectar from everything that is around me and give back as well, recycle that and give it out. It just recycle that love, that beautiful, the feelings, and share it with people. And it just feels so humbling. And I just feel so blessed to be able to do that. And we can all do that. The only block is within our own minds. That is where the blocks reside, because we all have the same capabilities, whether some of us might not be as physically able as others. Mentally, we are all able to create a beautiful life where we feel fulfilled. And it doesn't mean about having a materialistic life, although things are nice and you can have things. It's not about that. It's about the quality of your life and the blessing that you can be for other people in their lives as well. Just having a chance meeting, having a connection, sharing like this, or however on social media, that's a great way to connect with people as well, especially over the last couple of years where not everybody was able to get out as much. We were blessed to have this technology. I mean, that is a gift. That's a miracle, isn't it? I can talk to you wherever you are in the world. You know, I'm at the bottom of England in this tiny little place and I'm connecting with the world, and it is a blessing. It is a miracle. So miracles are real. They do happen, and it is just about being open. And what's that phrase? Be realistic and plan for a miracle. I'll take a little breath now and let you talk a little bit. Sorry. I can talk a lot.
Thank you very much, Karen. Yeah, the different messages that you shared really inspiring. And so from my understanding, it's more like in the beginning to build a relationship with the fairy world, and also we can say taking responsibility about our planets and taking care of Earth, especially because now we see more and more. Especially with the plants, pesticides, and all these chemicals are being more and more used. But when we bring this awareness to so many people, it really can help to have a different momentum that with time will shift the path and what we are creating.
Yeah. And people, sometimes we can get into this habit. It's like, well, what can I do on my own? You know, I won't make a difference. But you can and you will make a difference, you know, just by changing, as I said, some maybe chemical products and swapping them out for more natural products. There's lots of things that we can do, and it does make a difference. It really, really does. And when you know that, it's more inspiring to make more positive changes within your life. And also it will impact those around you, and they might say, oh, I might try that, and so it can have a beautiful ripple effect. And as I'm talking, I am shuffling my messages from the Mermaids deck, and just to get a little collective message for us all. So I'll just do this and see what message will come up for. Oh, that one kind of flew out a little bit. Move forward. Well, that's perfect for going through a fairy door. And it's there's only a few mermen in this deck, and he even has legs, but when he goes in the sea it goes into a tail. So move forward is his message, and so it is about moving forward with confidence, with boldness, with surety, and knowing that you are guided and you're not, even though it feels like we're on our own sometimes, when you take those leaps of faith, or when you take those strides of faith and you move forward, you are supported. You will find that metaphorical fairy doors will open for you. And then it's like you feel, do I want to go through that door? Do I want to go through that door? You know, you have the choice always. But don't let the fear stop you. And there's another phrase I'm going to say, which is the Susan Jeffers, which is feel the fear and do it anyway. So we all sometimes have fear about doing certain things in our life. Maybe we're just comfortable and we don't really want to come out of this comfort zone. We don't want to change. But when we know that something has to shift, something has to change, and we know that it's only us that can do it. Nobody is going to do that for you. And sometimes if we stay in a situation that is perhaps not for our highest good, then things will happen around and we feel like we're at the mercy of the gods or the universe or whatever it is. We feel like everything is against us when actually it is for us. Life is for us. Life supports life. Life isn't against you. It's not against us at all. And when you really feel that and really know that, it's like, hey, I can do anything and I can try it. And it's fine if I fail or be perceived to fail. It doesn't matter, because the fear of like looking silly or looking stupid or not succeeding only comes again from the mind and the ego. And we can pander to that, but then we'd be wrapped up in cotton wool and we wouldn't do anything in our life. And this is a beautiful journey to experience. Whether or not you choose to connect with the fairies and do that, or the mermaids and do that, it doesn't matter. Do it anyway. You might attract these beings to you. But there are ways that you can consciously connect with them. If you'll permit me to do, I could do a little tiny short little meditation that we can all do to connect, or certainly open the fairy door to connect. So if you get yourself in a comfortable position, you don't have to sit in a fancy position or anything. And when you feel ready, close your eyes. And then we're going to take a deep breath and breathe in love, light, joy, peace, and harmony. And as you breathe out, release any cares or concerns of your day. And then again, breathing in love, light, peace, joy, and harmony. And breathing out any cares or concerns of your day. And then one more time, breathing in deeply, love, light, joy, peace, and harmony. And breathing out any cares or concerns of your day. Now, there are always going to be things that are on our mind. Just release them for now. After this meditation, you can pick them up again, but let's leave them outside the fairy door for now. In your mind, imagine yourself in a beautiful garden. It's summertime and you can smell the fragrance of the beautiful flowers. You can see butterflies, bees, birds. It is so vibrant and alive, and the sun is warm on your skin. You feel so peaceful, so content, so happy, so blessed. And you notice as you look down a golden path before you. You decide to walk along this golden path. And eventually you come to a golden door with a key in the lock. You instinctively and intuitively reach out and turn the key on the golden door, and the door opens into an even more beautiful garden with trees, even more vivid, the colours, the fragrances, and you feel compelled to walk through the door, continuing along the golden path. Slowly walking along the path, breathing in the beautiful fragrances, the fresh air, the peace, feeling the peace and the joy, the tranquility. It is idyllic. It is perfect. This is nature in all of its wonderful glory. And then from the corner of your eye, you notice some lights dancing around, as if they're playing with you, appearing, disappearing, appearing in front of you and then to the side. And there becomes more and more of these lights. You have a good feeling about it. It feels good. It feels fun. And you could even start to giggle if it feels right, because these lights are beings and they want to play with you. And they're inviting you, come play with us, come play with the Fae, just for this day. And you open your heart and you open your mind to these beautiful beings. And suddenly they start to transmute into one being, a giant golden fairy. And she smiles at you and says, welcome to my realm. Welcome to this land. Welcome to fairyland. Stay here for a while and enjoy this beautiful nature. The energy is so powerful. You breathe in this beautiful, magical energy. And the golden fairy says to you, what is in your heart, my child? What is in your heart? What is your heart's desire? Take a moment right now. And the first thing that comes to mind, the first thing that comes to heart, always for the highest good of all. Hold that vision of what it is in your mind. And she reaches her hand forward as if into your mind and takes the vision and places it within her heart. And she says, you and I are one, the same. My heart is your heart. Your desire is my desire. I wish your desire comes true for you, for the highest good of all, for now and always, and that your desire will manifest in the best way for you. Be open, be receptive, listen to the signs, listen to any inspirations that may come your way. Follow them as if it is a golden trail of breadcrumbs that will lead to the manifestation of your heart's desire. And then she takes your shoulders and she gently spins you around 3 times. And you feel like you're flying. It's very slowly, but it's very beautiful. And then she faces you back towards the golden path, and you can see the golden fairy door, but you don't want to go. It's so beautiful here. Everything's so peaceful and perfect and magical. You don't want to leave. And she smiles and said, you can return here anytime you wish. This place is just a thought away. Go back to your human realm now and plant your seeds from your heart into your earthly realm. And may your wishes come true. For the highest good of all, I will see you again in another moment in time. And she bids you farewell, and then she dissipates into tiny lights, all flying around off into the distance. And you know it's time for you to leave, even though you don't want to. But a piece of your heart is still there because you love it so much. So you walk slowly towards the golden fairy door, which is still open. And then you walk over the threshold of the door back into the beautiful garden in the human realm. You turn around and you lock the key on the door. And then you see yourself sitting down in your chair. And you walk over to yourself and you sit down and you become fully connected with your body again, and you feel your feet on the floor and your bottom on your seat and your body against the chair or wherever you're sitting. And then you start to wriggle your fingers and wriggle your toes and twitch your nose and become fully in your body. And then when you feel ready, open your eyes and welcome back to the human realm. Yay!
Yeah, that was beautiful, grounding, and yeah, for me it was like shining everywhere, and also a lot of green, and it felt like a forest, and this is where I feel really, really grounded, really well, in the forest and in the mountains. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's even I nearly went. It's because I've got one foot in the fairy realm and one foot in the human realm, and that is my life really. Anyway, but so that just suddenly felt like it was going to swoop me away. And it's really important. We all hear, maybe we don't, but the term away with the fairies is quite a familiar one. And because it's so alluring and enticing and beautiful, and it's kind of hard to leave when you do venture into that realm, whether it's in a physical way or astrally, like we've just done. So it's really super important to make sure you're fully grounded when you come back, and because it can make you feel a little bit heady and lightheaded sometimes as well. So the grounding is just as important in any meditation, whether you're connecting with fairies, angels, whatever you're connecting with. Grounding is super, super important.
Beautiful. And yeah, we start taking questions in a little bit.
Yeah,
And
I'm definitely open to that.
so just before that, I would love if you can tell us a little bit about the free gifts that you are offering. And everyone, the link, I will put it on the chat box. And also it's available on the webcast page, the live events page, and later on the replay page as well.
Yay. So I am gifting everybody, whether you're watching live now or here on the replay, the star visualization meditation, which is actually one of my first recorded meditations. But it's still, I even listen to my own meditation sometimes, and it is about you connecting with the stars, because I have this, I think we're all come from the stars, we all have this connection in our heart as well. And it is, I don't want to give it all away because I want you to experience the journey. So it's a guided meditation journey that will connect you with the stars, and you will wish upon a star if you want to. And then there is music as well, so you don't always want to listen to, even though I think my voice is quite nice in the meditation, you might not always want to listen to that. Sometimes you might just want to have the music. So you've got the option to listen to the guided meditation, which then leads into the music, or you can just listen to the music as a standalone. And as an extra little bonus, I am doing half price, 50% off of all of my meditations, including my most recent one, which is called Away with the Fairies, but that's actually a meditation for sleep and relaxation. I've done quite a lot, so I won't reel them all off, but there's healing with the unicorns, manifesting with the fairies, lots of different types of meditations, but they're all very soothing, and they all come with music. So, and that you can listen to clips of them as well. And that when you sign up for the newsletter, you'll receive an automated reply with the link to download your free gift. And then there'll be a code there as well, which I believe is Magic 50, but you'll have to look in the email, and then you can use that when you check out if you want any of the other meditations. So that's my little gift to you, and I hope that you take advantage of that and enjoy it. And do let me know, do reach out, because I love connecting with people, and I love knowing that you know, I'm on the right path too, and with what I'm sharing and how it makes you feel and this sort of thing. So yeah, please do reach out. I'm pretty much everywhere on social media. Karen K Fairy is where you'll find me. So yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Karen, for the gifts. And again, everyone, the link is on the chat box, and there is a button, the free gifts button, on the live events page and later on the replay page. And we have a question from Linda.
Mm-hmm.
When out in nature, I feel as if there are fairies all around, and although I would like to play and communicate with them, but as I reach out, it seems like they get shy and fade back further and watch from afar. Any suggestions to open these beautiful connections easily for them and I? Thank you so much. Great
Yeah.
call.
Hi, Linda. That's a great question. Thank you so much for asking. So this is very typical of how fairies are, and it's kind of understandable why they would be shy, why they might be wary, not just of you, but of humans in general. Because if you going back to how we treat the planet, or not present company excluded, but how humanity has treated the planet, chopping down the trees, the domain of the fairies, you know, not respecting that. So when fairies encounter human beings, they do have a wariness, and they will kind of scan you to see, does this person love nature as much as we do? Does this person care for nature as much as we do? And when you do have this, and it's not a judgment, they're just observing, they just want to know, can we come forward? And then I speak to them as I would speak to a friend, always with respect, and always respecting their free will. If they want to communicate, if they don't, fairies don't always want to communicate with us, but it feels like you have that connection already, and that is very often how it begins. You know, you're aware of their presence, they're there, but they're a bit shy, they're coming forward, they're going back. And so it's a little bit like when you approach an animal, actually, you just be, as much as you can, be in your presence, in your own energy. And I don't know if you practice Tai Chi or Qigong or something like this. That's a really good way of just being in your own space. And then you'll find that all beings will be more magnetized to you. But you can also say, either out loud or in your heart, fairies, fairies, come to me as I sit beneath this tree. And you go by a tree and you just wait and you meditate and you just be in that space, and you might find that they start coming closer. What you're wanting to do is trying to nurture, to foster this beautiful connection with the fairies in a very tangible way. And you could say, please give me a sign that you wish to connect with me. I'm here, I want to be your friend. And little things like this, and just patience. You'll need patience, but it sounds like you do have it. And this applies to, I think, many people listening could probably relate to Linda's question as well, because it's not uncommon for people to have these experiences of they're there, but they're not quite there. And it is a waiting game. And it's kind of always on the fairies' terms. Like if they want to connect, they will. And it can take a long time because they don't have any concept of human time. So for me, they'll wake me up in the middle of the night, and I'm like, I'm tired, and they'll put ideas and give me ideas and inspirations, and I'm trying to kind of let them know that I have to sleep and I have to have human needs as well. So their concept of time is very different to ours. So I would pursue it. It sounds very promising, very positive, because they must feel something from you to show themselves to you in that way. And they need kind of reassurance from you as well, that you're not going to damage the land. You're going to let them see that you care for the land, and just see what happens. Watch this fairy space, as they say.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Karen. And so we have a couple of questions asking for a reading, like oracle reading. First one from Maria from Sweden.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wonder if
Okay.
Karen has the message for me.
Yeah, well, I'm going to use my fairy oracle because I haven't used that yet. Hi, Maria. And when I'm pulling this card for you, Maria, but if anybody is listening and this card, well, I know everyone's listening, but if this card that I am about to pull out resonates with you, don't think, oh, that's for Maria, it's not for me. If you're hearing it, it's for you too. And you're here for a reason and you're hearing it for a reason. And oh gosh, we couldn't have a more perfect card, Maria and everyone. We've got the Fairy of Manifestation. I hope you can see her. You might not be able to, I don't know. But
yes, it's clear.
This is perfect because we've been talking about manifesting our heartfelt wishes and dreams as we move through the fairy door into 2023. This is confirmation from the fairy realm. And I know people say the cards don't have power, you've got the power, but these cards do have some power. I have power too, you have power, but the cards do too. They are imbued with fairy magic. And I don't care what anybody says, I know it because these cards will fly out. The right card always comes out at the right time. They feel magical because they were manifested in a very magical way. So the Fairy of Manifestation is just coming in to affirm and confirm everything we've been talking about during this talk, and also to say that you do have the ability to manifest. And let's just, for a minute, let's just say that. Let's say that together, either in your mind or out loud if you're able to. I'll say first and then just repeat after me, and we'll say it 3 times. I have the ability to manifest my heart's desires. I have the ability to manifest my heart's desires. And one more time, I have the ability to manifest my heart's desires. And then place your hands on your heart and really absorb those words and notice any responses that you might have to those words. Because very often when we say something so bold and so direct and so affirming and so positive, part of us can sometimes come up and doubt it and question it. It matters not, because you are hearing, if you're saying the words out loud, you're hearing it, it's going in. So you can keep saying those words 3 times in the morning, 3 times in the evening, whenever feels right. And eventually you will see the results of that in your life. So I hope that was an interesting reading, Maria, but for everybody as well. Yeah. Oh, thank you, fairies. That was a great little card, I think.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Karen. And also thank you so much, Maria, for a question. Tina also, she would love a card reading.
Okay, I think I'm gonna stick with the fairies at the moment because we have been talking about fairies. So let's see what message there is for you, Tina. Oh, here you go. What's this? Come together. This is about working together with others. Sorry, I hope you can see that. It's a group of fairies and they're all working together. So one of them is putting water on the grass, one of them is digging, one of them has a wheelbarrow. It's about everybody coming together to the phrase, teamwork makes the dream work. Teamwork makes the dream work. So when we come together, and there's another phrase as well, the power of the many. When people come together, the power of the many is greater than the individual power and energy. So when you come together, you can move mountains, you can make things happen. So this tells me, Tina, that there is, perhaps you're somebody that likes to do everything in your own way, on your own. And I've been that person. I totally get that, because you feel like maybe, oh, only I know how to do it. But when you can delegate or share other people can come in and you can manifest the dream, whatever that might be, far more swiftly. So, and I'm still getting it, teamwork makes the dream work. And that is a message not just for you, Tina, but for everybody listening right now, including me, including you, Monsef. It's for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Karen. And Maria, she wrote, thank you so much, Karen and Monsef. It felt so wonderful in my heart.
Yeah.
And Linda, thank you so much for your insights. I am so excited to give your suggestions a try. Much love and light.
Oh, thank you.
And also Eric, he's asking for a reading. Yeah, I'm open to any messages that you may have.
Okay. So let's, I'm not sure how we're doing for time, so I can certainly do this one for you, Eric. And
we still have like 9 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I love these little mini readings as well, because you can get some great insight. Oh, is that? Oh, yes, that's Nature's Signs, Eric. Nature's Signs. And it's a lady by a stream, a fairy by a stream. And she's saying to look out for the signs in nature. It's very obvious what the message is here. And she's reminding you and all of us to get out into nature as much as we can, because the best way to connect with fairies is to be outside, which is their home. Although fairies can come in your home as well. And I have a few here permanently, but you can connect with fairies when you're in your own home as well. You can do that by sitting next to a plant, a living plant, like a house plant or something, because every single thing that grows in nature will have a fairy being, a fairy energy around it. But this message for you, Eric, is to get yourself out into nature. And you might say, well, I'm always out in nature. I'm always going for walks. We'll go out more and look for the signs in nature. So it's like not just going out, but paying attention to the details, the bird flying by, the bee on a flower, the butterfly, a leaf falling, just and make a note of what you're thinking when you see the signs from nature, because what's nature will be doing, and the fairies are part of nature, they'll be giving you confirmations of some of the things that you might be thinking about. So it's really worth opening your mind and your heart to certainly trying that. So I hope that message is helpful for you, Eric.
Yeah, thank you, Karen, and thank you, Eric. Also, Trisha Aboa she's asking for a reading.
Okay. And just briefly, before I do your card, the fairy door was going through the fairy door was at the bottom of the deck. I just saw that, and that's exactly what we've been metaphorically doing. So I like that. Okay, let's see what message the fairies have for you. And if you think she's shuffling in a funny way, it's because I tripped over at the end of May and I broke my wrist, and it's healing now, but it means that I can't do it in the normal way that I would normally shuffle, but I always find a way around. So we have moon energy, a moon fairy, which is, yes, there are fairies on the moon too. There are fairies on all the planets. Every planet has its own type of fairy being. This fairy can go between our planet and the moon, and she's saying to be like, perhaps you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed with certain things that are going on, either within your personal life or within the planet, or maybe you're watching the news and these energies are coming in, and she's saying to not let everything in, if that makes sense, from external sources, and because you'll find that you have peace within you, and it's sometimes the external forces that come in and make you feel like you're not at peace, when actually at your core and at all of our cores there is peace. And again, the turmoil, the concerns, the challenges, a lot of them are coming from our own minds. And she's just urging you to be, she's kind of wanting you to be calmer and just to be very mindful of what external energies and influences are coming into your life, because the things that you are thinking might be your issues or challenges are not. They could be coming from elsewhere. So I hope that makes sense. That's a very clear message that's coming through, and I really hope it makes sense for you.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Karen, and thank you, Trisha. Eric wrote, "You're one of my greatest inspirations, Karen. Thank you so much from my heart of hearts."
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. And can we take one more? Do one more
Yes.
reading? Okay.
Yeah.
So for V. Maxwell.
Hi. This is nice. I'm enjoying this. I haven't done a lot of fairy readings for people recently, so I'm just starting them up again. Oh, moderation, the fairy of moderation. So she's sitting at a table with all of this wonderful food on it, and she's saying to be mindful of what we're consuming, but not just food. And again, it's coming back to these external influences. You know, we can consume things and not even be aware or conscious that we're consuming them. For example, the TV, if you've got a TV, or the news going on. And sometimes I don't listen to the news anymore. I used to work as a BBC News editor in a former life, and I don't listen to the news at all now. And because it comes in with a certain energy that is unsettling. It's designed to grab your attention, to kind of pull on these kind of lower chakra energies. And sometimes we're not even aware of it. So this fairy, I don't feel that it's to do with the food that you're consuming, although it could be. Only you will know that. And she would never say don't eat. She would just say look at eating more healthily, if that is the case. But what I'm feeling, it's an energetic consumption, something that you're consuming energetically, perhaps. And this, none of this is a judgment. I would never judge anybody, because we're all on this journey together. It could be, am I listening to too much social media? Am I on social media too much when I should be more balanced, or could be more balanced and spend more time in nature and a little bit more time on social media? You know, just balance things out. It's all about balance at the end of the day. So look at what is going on in your peripheries. Perhaps you're sharing a home with somebody who has the news on or the television on very loud, and even though you're not consciously watching it, it's going in. So if you can find a harmonious way of not having to be a part of that or party to that, then I'll ask for that way to be shown to you, so you're not just absorbing all this stuff, and then you'll feel more peaceful within yourself. And I hope that message makes sense for you too.
Yes, it does, Shirot. Thank you. I understand. I am an empath, and I have many new energies around me. And also, Shirot, yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes. I love you. I love you all. We're all here for this earthly, wonderful earthly experience, and we're here to play. And things can happen that make us feel like it doesn't feel like fun, but usually we can find the blessing. Even if we can find one blessing, like I woke up today, I opened my eyes today, I looked out the window, or whatever it is that you've done or you're doing, always count your blessings. And the more blessings you count, the more blessings will be attracted in your life. And life is always happening for you. It's always supporting you, even though it sometimes feels like, why is this happening to me? What have I done to deserve this? But it usually always works out. It always works out. It might take a little bit of time, and we might not see the lesson or the reasoning at the time of it happening. But when we fully surrender and accept that life is supporting us, and we expect the best, then the best will come for us on all different levels.
Yeah, very, very inspiring. Thank you so much, Karen, for that message and for everything you shared with us today, and also for the guidance you gave to our audience. So very grateful to
Oh,
you.
you're very, very, very welcome. And again, I feel very blessed to be able to share, and thank you for inviting me into your beautiful divine uniqueness space. I feel very blessed to be here. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for
Thank you to you.
watching.
Beautiful. And yeah, so everyone, I recommend that you sign up for Karen's newsletter and receive her gifts. And I post the link again on the chat box. And you will find also a free gift button on the live events page and later on the replay page. And yeah, so that's everyone. I'm sending you so much love. And I will see you on the next call. Bye for now, and thank you.
Yay.